Hello, everyone. It is Ken here. It's Basketball Rewind. Stay tuned and locked into these videos because guess what? We are going to be covering potential matchups that the Raptors may face in the future if they make the playoffs. And so far, it looks like they are in the playoffs, but it's very, very close. I mean, everyone. Let's see. Right now, it's like 39 wins as the Raptors, and then the next one, two, three, four teams have 38 wins, and the Hornets are hot in pursuit. So let's get into it today. For this episode, we're going to be talking about the potential matchup of everyone's favorite team, which is the Boston Celtics, of course, with led by Joe Mazzulla and Jaylen Brown, and the return of Jason Tatum. Your guys' thoughts? I really want to kind of give a preamble, which is I think kind of going through the what the offensive advantages and disadvantages, defense, and if it happens to be the matchup, how many games and who are you calling? So let's go. You know what, Coach? I'll go with you. Your thoughts on the Celtics? Do we have any offensive advantages, disadvantages? What are your thoughts?
I think we may have one advantage. You guys might laugh at me a little bit, but I've only seen this due to history
Mm,
between playing the Bulls, and that's Pirtle on Vucevic. That's the only maybe advantage that you might have inside. Pirtle usually does. He usually played very well against Vucevic against the Bulls. Other than that, this is a sweep. This Celtics probably win 4-0 against us. Like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum's back. We always struggle with Peyton Pritchard. We always struggle with Derek White. They're second in offensive rating and they're fourth in defensive rating. And Joe Mazzulla, he's my coach of the year. What they've done without Tatum most of the year, I this would be a terrible matchup for the Raptors.
beyond your thoughts.
Can't say it any better than what the man said, man. I think this is going to be clinical, and I mean this is going to be a sweep. I'm not even sure how competitive all four of these games will be. The
Yeah.
matchups are bad across the board. The Vooch matchup, perhaps, but that might be more to do with Chicago than anything to do with Pirtle. And
Mm.
even when it's all said and done, Joe Mazzulla just put Queta out there, and we've seen what he's done in the Raptors, and that would be just a wrap. So I suspect Queta's going to get a lot of minutes in this run for Boston. As much as everyone talk about Vucevic, I think Queta still will get a lot of minutes in these playoff series. And then the other part is the Boston bench. Good gosh, I want to know what that's going to look like when you start going to the bench units. What bench will we have by then? That will be interesting to ask. We're playing 7.5 dudes at some nights, maybe 8. I don't know what it's going to look like. Where Pritchard now playing his natural position as the sixth man, Hauser. I mean, all them boys coming off the bench. Like, I mean, like the kid Gonzalez. Like, I mean, yeah. It's they could go 10, 11 deep if they want to. And I think with the Raptors, they will experiment somewhat, but I think they will play their natural 4 or 5 men off the bench. And I just think that's going to be tough. I'm going to say it that way.
I mean, we played them close to full strength on our side, and yet they've had games where I think one of the games wasn't Jaylen Brown out or whatever.
Yeah, that's when Pritchard went for like 35.
Yeah, and like Pritchard was like, okay, now you, now you, now you, now you. Like it was like anyone can have it.
Yes, pretty good. Yeah.
Brad
Um,
Stevens is one of the top executives by far in the league. They found Cada on the free agent market. He was dumped by, I can't remember who drafted him. It might have been Sacramento or
And
someone.
when in doubt, pick Sacramento coach.
Yeah. So they released him. They drafted Pritchard. I'm not talking about Brown or Tatum. Like, obviously, those were great picks and they were there. But I'm talking about the other value picks, like even trading a first rounder for Derek White. I
yep.
mean, Derek White's one of the best defenders in the league right now, and he can shoot the lights out. So Brad Stevens, he was a good coach, but he's a great GM.
hmm Definitely a better executive than he was a coach. He was a pretty good coach. I would give him that. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I know that there's a thought that if we traded RJ or if you swapped RJ for Derek White, that magically things work. It's like I don't think so. Yeah, I mean you'd be better at some level, but
I
still,
tell you one thing, those Derek White shooting percentages wouldn't be much better if they playing for this team.
yeah, that's part
He,
of the
he'd
problem.
forget how to shoot if he played for our team.
He's
Now,
already having.
true. I won't go into it too much, but I did see a chart briefly, and it was about Scotty and how he gets like he's one of the highest in the NBA in terms of being able to produce qualities of shots. Now, the way that I look at it is that yes, he can produce quality of shot, but it also showed on the x-axis was the ability for him to actually produce gravity, and he was one of the lowest. And so it's like if you're producing quality shots, what okay, this for example, a 3-pointer is more than a two. This is how they calculate it, right? And then they do it based on the amount of space. That's great, but who are you passing it to? When are you passing it to? Like you give a really good quality shot to Pirtle. That don't mean that Pirtle don't make the shot, or that that's the right shot. So there's a lot more to these type of things, and I think when I look at it a game within a game, I'd say this would be probably a sweep. That's just it. So, but yeah, that's all for this. Stay tuned for the rest of the matchups, and take care, folks, and peace.